Hello, Dormants. How are you this evening? Well, that's good. Glad to hear it. You know what? I'll just switch over. I'm just drawing, so it's no big deal. I wanted to see something, if this would work. Opacity down to, let's try 30-ish. You're good? Oh, I need to be over, not under. Seeing if I can make the eyes look a little bit different. What's up, Mindless? How you doing? Long time no see. Now let's... Water one. Trying to see if I can make them look more mirrored. Yeah. Yeah, I got myself a drawing tablet with some of the money I've made off of Twitch and slowly teaching myself to draw. I mean, I used to do it a lot when I was a kid, but I haven't touched anything like this in a long time. I mean, I'm not saying I'm good, but I'm trying. I mean, the little VTuber in the bottom corner, I actually drew that on stream. Yeah, it's not bad. I'm not good. I mean, it's not great. Okay. Let's pull. And what I was doing, I was pulling the clear, because I'm on a different layer, so I'm pulling nothing into that layer to lessen the look of the blue. Because there's too much there for me, for what I wanted. How you been, man? So since I pulled too much blue, that way I don't have to worry about it later. Oh, move to Oli? Not bad. Still have some friends in Oli. Oli's a decent place. A little expensive. I mean, it's not... Well, I guess Lacey isn't as expensive as it used to be, but Lacey used to be more expensive. Tumwater, I think, is actually the one that's starting to get more expensive, and that used to be the lower end. Okay. Oh, nice. Nice of you to help out. Yeah, I was gonna say Tumwater was Tumwater used to be the low rent area. Lacey used to be the high dollar suburb, and Olympia was more like the urban. You could find good rent, you could find bad rent. It just really depended. But living rent free, helping out your grandparents, that ain't nothing wrong with that. Hell, why is there an ad break coming in? I ran one. Oh well. No, I'm just hoping people are doing good, having fun. I forgot I'm on talk time. Have some music to listen to. It's honestly why I'm glad I'm sitting out down here in Texas. It's not so bad here. Oh, wow. Yeah, I had well, it's my brother's father-in-law was really into prospecting and stuff. He had some properties over in Montana that he'd go gold pan at with the winter, the summer melt. I mean, when it starts melting up in the hills, he'd I don't know if he still does it, but he used to. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I like the bluing. I think I'm going to add a little bit more white to it, though. I'm trying to make it look mirrored. So I have what's called a chrome back layer. But I don't want to get rid of the chrome back layer. I want that still to be there. Trying to figure out how to make something look metallic or, mirrored. Old man is in Cali. What's up, Green Jeans in YouTube land? I don't understand the ad break thing, what's going on right now. Twitch being Twitch. Just trying to add some layers. Why, thank you. I appreciate that. It's always nice when that happens. Yeah, on Thursdays and Fridays, I started drawing once I got the tablet. And just teaching myself to get better and better. Or at least trying. Hey, baby. How you doing? Trying to stay awake on the drive back. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. I'm going to leave it alone for now. Now my terrible outline sketch outside of Dallas. Okay. Oh, I'm an idiot. Down to here. Now I'll go back up here. Ad's too long? Well, I set the ad for 3 minutes, but it's only once an hour. So you only get interrupted once an hour. I figure that's better than a 30-second ad every, 15 minutes or whatnot. Whatever they try to do. You got a 5-minute ad? You're not supposed to get a 5-minute ad. I don't run 5-minute ads. They're only supposed to be, according to my setup, they're only supposed to be 3 minutes. So that's Twitch doing something. So that means I couldn't control it anyway. Because you're only supposed to get ads once an hour for 3 minutes. Yeah, ad blocks used to be 10 minutes. But I figure running the ads at 3 minutes, I take a 5-minute break. You get to listen to like 2 minutes of my music if you don't, if you're not subscribed. Hell, I've been contemplating turning them off altogether. I want it right about here. That'll work. So I apologize for the ad, but there's not much apparently I can do about it because as far as I know, I made it to not be as long and I set it up to run at a certain point. You know, once an hour, I go take a break. And lately, I've been getting like weird ad plays at certain times that they shouldn't be, or they're requesting to do ads at certain times. Twitch is just weird sometimes, yeah. As we say, you know, Twitch being Twitch. There we go. So to be honest, I mean, apparently there's not much I can freaking do about it, no matter even, you know, when I do try. Welcome back, Green Jeans. Yeah, it's kind of annoying sometimes with Twitch doing it. Nice try. Make me twitch when I'm trying to... Not twitch. When I'm trying to draw. Yes, Twitch has a neuro twitch. That is absolutely correct. No, the wet weather's not hitting me yet. I don't think it's supposed to hit till Sunday. What is it about July 4th that there always seems to be like rain somewhere around it? I often wonder if, you know, fireworks are formulated the way they are because of cloud seeding. Like in Washington, it can be clear day, July 4th morning, but by that evening, clouds will start coming in and rain will begin. It's the British. Yes, the British are doing it, damn it. Are ruining our friggin' holidays with their stupid wet weather. No, that is not a good beginner song. It's a great song. Our California paid Ireland. That where's coffee so we can confirm this? Coffee's in Ireland. Right. Or just some like old like Beach Boys stuff, which is iconic but simple. Or the old Peter Gunn theme. Oh, yeah, Free Falling. I tried to learn, I just don't have the hands for it. I got pretty good after a while learning some chords, but I just couldn't keep it up. I'd have to stretch my hands in so much of a different way. Like I would literally have to have custom guitar with custom frets for my fat ass fingers to fit between the strings and not overlap. Like I had to do like hold my hand in such a weird awkward way that it hurt. Oh, Green Jeans over in YouTube was talking about rain, and that California bought some rain from Ireland, and coffee's in Ireland. Mindless is talking about teaching his niece to play the guitar. Sorry, I'm talking about 2 or 3 different things at once. Sorry about that for you lurkers. How dare thou? Exactly. Hand dexterity would be a thing? Yeah, hand dexterity is fine, but remember, my fingertips were too fat. I actually couldn't finger the frets like I was supposed to. I kept overlapping strings. Which is why I had such a hard time learning. An insurance billboard quoting Tolkien. Okay, that was not on my bingo card for tonight. Hey, what's up, XO? Well, I tried and I didn't have enough. Well, the other thing is I didn't have enough want to learn. How is XO doing tonight? Pretty happy? Well, that's good, because I know yesterday that you had said you weren't having a good day. Some bad stuff had happened. And that was why you missed The Wolf Among Us. I'm sorry to hear that. Green Jeans is giving you a cross-dimension high five from the YouTube land. Ha! Nice. Okay, how... Doesn't look like a shadow. I need to brown it up a little bit more. I think I went too dark. But yeah, when it comes to learning the guitar, I also just don't have the passion for it. You know, it's like, I think it'd be fun to learn, but it's not that big of a deal to me. Maybe one of these days I'll pick up the bass. I think because I can do a wider string with a bass. Just trying to get this to work up better. Look more like a shadow than 5 o'clock shadow. You know what I mean? I mean, feel free to talk about it, XO, if you want. If not, you know, I get it. I figure if you wanted to talk about it, you could, you would have by now, but I also know sometimes I don't make it explicitly clear that it's okay. Ah, okay, family stuff. No, I totally get that one. You have a good one, Mindless. I hope in like a year's time, I look back at my techniques that I'm using here tonight, and I go, wow, there was so much easier way to do that. Why weren't you doing it this way? It's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, and see, from my perspective, you know, I know that I'm probably doing it the wrong way, or not as good a way. Why does that not want to blend? That is such a weird... weird kind of glitch there. Ha. Growing up with a major interstate did not prepare you for Texas highways? I'm sorry to hear that, dear. These aren't that bad. Getting gas? Okay. Thought you were at work. Yeah, true. Road trips with your dad. There we go. We're getting there. See, this is what, messing with drawing has taught me. If I fiddle fart with it enough, I'll eventually get happy with it. And yes, I said fiddle fart. In my world, it means to, just you can change little things here and there. Just keep messing with it, tweaking it a little bit here and there. Yeah, I think that worked really well. Need to layer that up. The little shadow of the collar and tie. But I want it to be a lighter shadow than the one from underneath the chin. So I got to build up the layers and then blend them together. I hope. I mean, that's what it seems to be working. Oh, I understand. DQ is good. Depending on what you want. Only occasionally does a blizzard sound good to me, but when it does, damn, is that a craving. You know what I mean? Like when those cravings hit like that. Zoom. Zoom. Just trying to blend in the outline. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, I need to move it up. Trying to do a decent collar. Any big plans for the 4th of July weekend for people? I want to do that in black. Yeah, that sounds good. I am so over fireworks, I'm gonna be honest. Like, seeing professionals do fireworks, sure, great, fine. And this includes me. I really don't think civilians should be having fireworks. And I know that that's like a semi-controversial, but with how much damage has been done because of fireworks. I mean, amazing. It's amazing that there's not more damage done per year. And I had my fair share of fun with them when I was younger, and I realized, you know, a lot of the things that we did with fireworks probably shouldn't have done it. But then again, you know, on the other hand, if people can be taught respect, or if we could actually press charges against people that were idiotic with fireworks, you know, like actually get them online with, say, assault with a deadly weapon, I would be so for that. Like, if there could actually be consequences to people being stupid with fireworks, you know, launching a mortar shell underneath somebody's vehicle or on top of their roof, that should be, you know, arrestable. Like, people don't really understand how damaging they use. Yeah, exactly. See, fireworks are great improvised weapons. Oh, yeah. Yeah, simple certification. I'd go for that. But I mean, people don't even want simple certification for firearms. They call that an infringement on their Second Amendment right. And I'm like, you know what? We license people to have cars. I think people should have to have a firearms license. Be trained and taught how to use it. Show respect for it. You know, and I realize that's a controversial take. You know, and before you go thinking that I'm want to take your guns away or anything like that, remember, I grew up in Montana, northern Nevada. I've been around my fair share of firearms. I've fired my fair share of firearms. I mean, first gun I ever fired was a .41 Magnum with a 9-inch barrel. Looked like the Dirty Harry gun, just the wrong caliber. Never fired a gun. Guns can be fun as long as the people you're with know what the hell they're doing and not trying to, potentially harm people. I think part of the reason, that we have such firearm problems is because people forget that they're a weapon. They're not just a toy. They're not just something that you pull out. Sure, there's tragedies that happen with them. I agree. But I wonder how many tragedies we'd end up having if people actually had to have a license, like they do a car. And before people say, it's like, well, that's not what our forefathers meant. Well, the forefathers also never meant for us to have cars either. And yet we have them. And we license them. And, people literally have to have proof that they know what they're doing with them. I will always advocate for gun training classes before you ever touch a firearm. If you ever think you want to get a firearm, go to a shooting range and rent a gun. Take classes. Make sure it's something that you really want. Let alone, know how to use and can handle. And I realize that's a controversial take. I get it, But to me, it just seems like common sense. I think that we could actually... personally, I think, fully auto guns would be fine for people to have because those are fun to shoot. But it's be like a motorcycle endorsement. You would literally have to prove that you know how to use it and that you're not an idiot. I think it would also catch a whole lot of people that might not need or should have firearms, a little unstable. If you're actually having to go get a license like you do a car, a license you can fail. Although, I'm not sure if you fail a driver's license test anymore with the way people drive. And yes, getting a license is no guarantee, but I'm sure that it would reduce. It would help. And I also used to work for the Second Amendment Foundation, so... don't think I'm some anti-gun nut. I need more. I thought that would pick up a lot more. Because, I mean, personally, I love firing firearms. On how to full auto. Maybe I shouldn't have softened this like I did. I thought using the knife one would have made this pick out some more. You know, me personally, licensing, you know, I also think we need to have more stringent licensing for rigs. You know, I used to be a professional driver, not just, you know, Domino's delivery, but I've also had a CDL hazmat. Yeah, that's true. Birth is controversial. Some people shouldn't breathe. That's another thing I think we need to have a license for of some kind. But on the other hand, you know, I do understand how easily some of that stuff could be abused. You know, where they would control who got what. But then again, it's not like they're really doing that with cars, are they? You know, people bring up that argument. It's like, oh, well, they just wouldn't pass anybody. It's like, really? Cars are just as deadly, if not deadlier, than a firearm. Hell, if you live in Britain, the heat's deadlier than a firearm. I'm not joking. Look at the statistics. They have more heat-related deaths in the last 4 years than we've had firearm-related deaths. If I remember correctly. Yeah, that's better. Looks a little too hard line. I'm going to use the blender again. The hard edge one. Like squatters' rights. Yeah, well, I think if somebody's going to sit there and let something not be useful, and somebody comes in and makes it useful, I think there should be something there. I think if somebody's just going to abandon a property, I think it should be okay for somebody else to come in and take it over. But they have to make it better. I mean, just think about how many houses you see that are basically abandoned, look like crap, you know, with no trespassing signs because somebody's abandoned it. Oh, well, it's been in the family for so long and I don't have the money to fix it up. Well, yeah, but what about somebody that could? You know, would you rather your family home go to shit? Or would you rather your family home go to a family and watch it actually get taken care of? I know the way I'd go. Oh, but I want to pass it down to my kids. Well, maybe you should have thought of that. You know, maybe you should have kept it up. Okay, that's a dark one. No wonder this looks so much different. I don't know. Anybody else have thoughts on that? firearm licensing, certain people who should or shouldn't have children, changing squatters' rights to actually mean something rather than just, you know, a predatory use by some people and a reason for housing to go, you know, useless for others. You know, I think there should be like a process where you find like an abandoned place and you should have the ability to like talk to the county assessor or something about taking over the property and the taxes. You know, I think unoccupied homes should have a, you know, you got to do work on them. You know, there should be a certain amount of habitation or stuff done to them, even if you're not living there. Like, I mean, I know people that, you know, they have a farm, but they don't actually live on the farm. It's where they keep their animals. They have acreage where they keep animals, you know, and they don't actually live on the property. I'm okay with that. Like, that legit makes sense. You know, they're still using the land. It's not abandoned. You know, unlike some of these other places where you'll see just on the side of the road, something completely, you know, a house that looks like crap, overgrown. But it's not for sale. Nobody's taking care of it. I mean, you don't even know if anybody lives inside of it. And I mean, maybe it's an old couple that can't take care of the property. Maybe you could work out a deal with them that, you know, you do work around the property for a while and they pass it off to you. Yeah, sure, it might piss off their kids. But their kids are obviously not helping them. But no, stop that. You know, I think somebody should get rewarded for doing work. No, I understand buying abandoned property, but some of these people still pay the taxes on it. Like, what we qualify as abandoned is what I think needs to be changed. You know, I mean, you have corporations, you have people that squat on a home, they're not doing anything with it, but they damn sure won't sell it to you or do anything with it because, oh, I can't afford it. It's like, well, if you can't afford it, then you can't afford to have the thing. Like, I'm sorry. It's like somebody having a pet, but they can't afford the vet bills. Okay, well, you can't afford to have the pet then. You know, unless they have the knowledge of taking care of their pet. You know, they know how. Yeah, I like the softer look to it. I guess nobody else had any thoughts on it but Green Jeans. Oh, shoot, it's already time. Oh. All right. I'll be back in 5. Was Ghost here? I didn't see him. I didn't see him talk. I feel bad if he did. Okay, I can merge those layers. Go. Okay, I don't need you anymore. Means I'll delete. Oh, God, darn it. Be on the right one. Ah, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say. What am I doing? I can zoom it in a lot more than that. You're on the outskirts already? Nice. You're making good time, baby. I get to see my baby soon. I don't know. I always found like 4th of July kind of being a weird holiday. Like, I love it on one hand. Like, I mean, it's a good idea to celebrate the birth of a nation. You know, it's like it's when we declared our independence. It's when we decided to become more than what we were. To unify into a does a tie look? Don't I have a tie over here somewhere? Didn't I? There you are. What does that knot look like? Is that even a right knot? Okay. It'll work. Yeah, there you go, Green Jeans. That sounds like a perfect celebration. Although I think the tea dunking thing is just hilarious. Well, what is Oktoberfest? Like, what are you really celebrating with that? You know, I think that's one of the other things is that we have so many holidays that are just an excuse to have a holiday, but they don't really do anything. Like, people don't even know what they mean. Like Valentine's Day, like what it's really supposed to mean is, you know, being with someone you love. Not to go out and find a date. oh, being alone on Valentine's Day, you know, I can't do that. I gotta go find a date. It's like, you should have been working on that like a long time ago. A holiday isn't what should remind you to go find a date. You know, Thanksgiving is degenerated into a holiday of people complaining about their relatives. You know, not being thankful. That's what Oktoberfest is all about, is a royal wedding. Then why the crap should I celebrate it? Like, that just sounds dumb. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people that really enjoy, you know, the fest. But why is it even celebrated in America, I guess, is my question. You know, I mean, when was the last time you celebrated Bastille Day? That's coming up. For those of you that don't know, it's the day that the French stormed the Bastille. It was the start of the French Revolution. You know, basically what we now consider the French government was formed. You know, it's like celebrating Cinco de Mayo in America. It's like, I understand that we have a lot of Hispanics in America, but isn't Cinco de Mayo something about their Independence Day or something like that? Why are we celebrating that in America? I will say, however, I do love the food that comes, you know, that people make during Cinco de Mayo. Like, I mean, if we change Cinco de Mayo to, like, you know, Hispanic Appreciation Day or something like that, I would love it. You know, let's do that with other cultures. You know, like July 4th is American Appreciation Day. Yes, exactly, Green Jeans. Bastille Day is definitely the guillotine. You know, and I think everybody should eat cake on Bastille Day. Ba-doom. If you don't get that joke, learn some history, damn it. You better be joking. Mainly because they're out of, you know, session right now because it's the holiday. July 4th. Sorry, to me, you know, some of these holidays feel like, you know, like Cinco de Mayo. Again, you know, I'm not complaining about Cinco de Mayo in specific. What I'm saying is that Cinco de Mayo, you know, is like going to Africa and celebrating the 4th of July and wondering why nobody gets it. Bro, don't even get me started on how many vacations those guys freaking take. Like, our government is so useless. What is it? They work 200 days out of the year. I can't remember how many session days there are. Yes, I did hear about that. I think every politician needs to go through a competency exam. Hell, I think it should be mandatory that politicians have a test about American history and why certain laws may be what they are. You know, have them understand the ramifications. Maps was updated. What, are you already home? Oh yeah, that looks good. Does that look like a good tie there, Green Jeans? Who rejects a cinnamon roll? I told you, XO, bring me one. I guarantee you I'll eat that sucker. So does that tie not look good? I mean, I'm not done with the whole tie. Oh, okay, that's what you mean. It wouldn't let you post a photo of your... That's some awful censorship. Oh, the file was too big. Okay. How big did you make those cinnamon rolls? Oh, just a regular necktie. I just haven't got the long diamond shape done yet. Green Jeans, I love you like a brother, but if you're putting ice cream on a cinnamon roll, bruh, no, you're supposed to put icing on a cinnamon roll. Like, I get it, but I mean, cinnamon rolls are already full of sugar. You just use that icing like the wife likes to do with that slight lemon frosting stuff, so it has that bit of tartness, and it's perfect. Just nice and warm, so it's still a little melty. Well, not like full lemon. It just has a bit of that bitterness to it. Okay. Yeah, like not full lemon on a cinnamon roll, although that might not be too bad. I'd love to try to do something like that. Yeah, citrus glaze, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. So how big do I want the tie? I need the... So the tie should come down to about here. Yeah, that should work. Started tracing the wrong one. No, stop that. You know what, XO? You should tell your dad that he has dishonored your cow. Oh, there's nothing better than like a cinnamon roll in the morning. That is good. Although I do also like coffee cake in the morning. Yeah, that's true. I will say that wife and Tater would make enough that we'd have cinnamon rolls for a while. And that'd be me like eating 2 of them in a day. 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening. And we'd have them for at least 2 or 3 days. 3 or 4 days. We had this big, what we call a hotel pan that we used to cook them in.
How scary do you like your movies?
As scary as the caloric intake of a damn good cinnamon roll. That's how scary I like my movies. I mean, come on. Cinnamon rolls be good. Not sure what my favorite dessert is. It used to be cake and ice cream when I was little. But as I get older, I'm finding I have a bigger appreciation for pies. But a good homemade cinnamon roll or coffee cake, those are pretty good too. Yes, I am spoiled. I am absolutely spoiled. That's why I try to spoil you so much when you're home. That's why I go through the effort like I did today and, cook up a whole bunch of food that I wanted to eat, but I made it for your lunches for the week, or however long you make them last. I mean, you're getting the large majority of like a 4-pound roast and seasoned vegetables. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was cutting slices off of it. And munching. I had to check, make sure it was good enough for you. Green Jeans, if I didn't spoil her as much as she spoiled me, do you think she'd still be with me? I should hope not. Quality control, exactly. That's what those filterings are for. Nope. I almost did that wrong. I don't know how to stop that. My dog never did that. Green Jeans? What does my IQ have to do with anything? Hold on one second, guys. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Wife just got here, wanted to give her a hug at least. I find it funny at the way I do these. It also just could mean that the dog's playful. Maybe you need to get to play fetch with it a little bit more. wear it out. Although, you know, there are some dogs that are just nothing but energy. And wearing it out is a fool's errand. Either that or else it learned the trick from a cat and thinks you're a bad hunter. So it's trying to feed you. So then where's it getting the frogs? You sure it's not toads? Oh, okay, so they actually freak you out. Because I have a little buddy toad that pops in every once in a while. Is it dry-skinned or wet-skinned? That's the easiest way to tell if it's between a frog and a toad. Little babies. Like, Mom, put me down. Put me down, Mom. Yes. Little one needs scritchings. Ah, okay. So she's trying to butter you up to get treats. Well, then the easiest way to stop that behavior is just, when she does it, tell her no when she's doing it. She brings you the animal, the frog, toad, whatever it is. Just look at her. No. That is if you train the dog to understand the word no. That's the only thing I can think is just, I have to rely on training. Ah. Yeah, but if you're the soft one and give in, what do you expect? I mean, I don't blame you. Oh my God. Do you have any idea how hard that idea is to pull off, Green Jeans? Also, depending on the size of the animal, how much cardboard that would take. Oh, I mean, it does look adorable. I'd just rather buy those collapsible tunnels you can get for them. But again, depending on the size of the animal, those can be pretty big or pretty small. Just really depends. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's probably doing a lot to hamper her, is that she can't do too much. I know Scruff hated it when he wanted to play, and then he'd like hurt himself because he moved too fast because he had the bone cancer. You know, and then he'd just like get all upset and depressed and lay down because he couldn't play. Ouch. That really sucks. Always sucks when, you know, our pets get hurt. True. Oh, yeah, so much energy there. That explains a lot. Yeah, I was going to say that explains a lot. Well, actually, Green Jeans, that really depends. Some cattle dogs don't like water. Oh, okay. Scruffy was so funny when we used to take him down to the river. He didn't like swimming, but he loved putting his face in under the water, blow bubbles through his nose or through his mouth. I'm not sure where he was doing it, and then try and grab the bubbles with his mouth. Like, he loved playing in water, but he didn't like being sprayed with water. He didn't like being in it. He liked just playing with it. Nice. Yeah, see, water guns, no. Scruff would not take kindly to water guns. He didn't like being sprayed. But he definitely would, like I said, put his face underneath the water, blow bubbles, and then try to bite at the bubbles. It was hilarious to watch. He had no buoyancy. We tried to teach him how to swim, but the bro had no buoyancy in his butt. He just kept sinking. Like, his chest would stay afloat, but he couldn't swim. His butt would just sink. Happy with where I am with that. What's that? Oh. Reminded you of the song? Okay. I'll look at it later. Yeah, I thought. I'm terrible at this. Trying to line this all up. Why does this look so bad? Well, thank you. I'm trying. Okay, so... I just try to remember the material that I'm working with. And how it reacts to light. You know, think of a few examples in my head. And then try to translate it. That's really all I do. Now I'm just trying to get the general shape of the torso, sans arms. Well, and I also, with my shading, I make up for a lot of it by blending. Let's be honest here. Meow. Yeah, she's being a meowser. She's talking to Mama. Saying hi, missed you, Ma. Why does that look like? Oh, well, I haven't attached the arms. That's right. Meow. Scratchy meows. Yeah, you'd think I wouldn't. I never give her any attention when you come home. You think she just starved for attention. But no, that cat gets loves. As much as she lets me. Oh, sure. I'll take a look at it. Camera's not on. When I'm drawing, I don't use the camera because otherwise they'd just be seeing the top of my bald head. Just... Yeah, she knows. Yeah, she does. She knows camera's not on. But Dad forgot to feed me at dinner time. You were on the phone with me when I did it. Sorry, Trying to get this right. I think that worked. Ish. Whatever. You drove, dear. That's what you did to your damn hip and knee for 6 hours. You drove. Meow. Meow. Can you yell louder for the microphone? Can't put you on cam, but you want to yell louder? No? Okay. So let's... Oh my god, what is going on? What? Okay. Just... Okay, where's the break? Dagnabbit. That's why it's taking so long to do it. Good night. I'm probably getting off of here soon too anyway. Ah. Trying to get better at this. There we go. Yay, I fixed it. Which is better than saying, there, I ruined it. You're supposed to go under the tie. I'm going to clean this up, and then I'm probably going to save and quit. And tell you all good night, and hope you have a happy time until I see you again. Which should be tomorrow at 5-ish. My time. Where Ghost and I play Ark. Meow, meow, meow. My little babies. I hear you purring over there. Oh, you're so happy mom's home. Oh, is that good?
It's in my finger.
Okay, I'll stop. She like tenses, the cat tenses her like claws when she gets good scritchings. And the wife was holding her. And so digging the claws into her arm and fingers. But I hope you guys had fun tonight. You know, it's another chill one. You know, I talked about a little bit of things, but you know, for the most part, I think you're here just to chill. As you guys say. Right? I try. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good start on the torso anyway. But I'm going to save it there. Hope you guys had fun. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.